Hotshot Trucking in 2024. Is it still worth it? This is a subject where everyone has a different opinion, and my job is to give you the professional opinion. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get right into it, not going to waste any time. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information and give you guys my opinion on the trucking industry and what I see inside my company and what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, and some of the things I see that you guys might not see, whether you be a driver or somebody outside that's not even involved in the industry. Or somebody that's just reading up on Facebook, looking at groups and stuff, seeing what people say, trying to determine whether they want to get into the trucking industry or not. So first, I'll start off with answering the simple question: Hotshot Trucking in 2024, is it still worth it? It is still worth it. To give you the straight up answer, in my opinion, it is still worth it. And that's not even just my opinion, it's the facts, and it's the fact of the matter. Now, it just depends on who you are, how you're getting involved, and who you're getting involved with, whether it's worth it or not. Also, different people have different overheads, so I'm going to let you guys in on every little detail of how to survive, how to make it in the trucking industry, and how to do it, how to do it the best way possible, and what the best route is. All right, so the main reason why I say it is still worth it is because, number one, the trucking industry will never die. It cannot. If the trucking industry ever stops, we're in big trouble. The rates will fluctuate, rates will go up, rates will go down. A lot of the people that you hear or that you see in these groups or on the internet talking about how the industry is not worth it anymore are people who are most of the time used to the old rates, 2016, 18 market, freight market and stuff, spot market. Most people are referring to the spot market, which is not the goal in the trucking industry. Your goal is to not be working off the spot market. That's just not the goal. I mean, it's what a lot of people do. We still do a lot of it. I mean, it's a big part of the trucking industry and always will be. But, and so are brokers. But, that's what a lot of people say that for, is because they're used to old rates. Rates have plummeted and they have already built up their, they have different overhead. They've built their bills and their lifestyle around the rates that they used to make this money on, and they can't survive anymore because they're not making the same type of money. So that'll frustrate a lot of people, rightfully so. So, that's why you get that from a lot of people. But as far as the trucking industry today, it's still very, very profitable. I say that because I used to be a hotshot driver myself. My whole family's been in the trucking industry for a very long time. And when I was out there hotshot driving, I was off the radar. I didn't have the restriction of the ELDs and whatnot. But I was hauling for cheap rates and giving people, quotes, and hauling for people off Facebook and all these other different groups and stuff, and finding anybody I could to haul their loads for them, try to make some money. And I even had plenty of money to pay someone to help me drive and still pay for fuel and everything else and be extremely profitable. My truck could haul for $1.20 a mile and still be profitable. There's probably people watching this video thinking, what the heck, this guy's full of crap. All right. Well, I'm just telling you what I know and what I saw firsthand. I'm not expecting any hotshot drivers out there to run for those kind of rates. Unacceptable. You don't want to haul under $2 a mile. You really don't. We don't either. We really want to have a $2.25 a mile minimum. That's where we like to be. It's just not the case right now. It's not realistic when you're talking about strictly spot market. It's just not going to happen. So, brokers control a lot of this industry. Brokers control the market. So spot market is all about brokers. Brokers are taking whatever percentage they want of these rates, posting them on the board, acting like they're not negotiable. I'll give you guys a little quick story. We had one driver drop off a load. He asked the shipper, he said, "I'm just curious. I want to know how much you guys paid the brokerage for this load." They said $2,400. Our company got paid $800 to haul that load. So you're looking at brokers raping the rates for anywhere to 20 to 75%. So for those of you who did not know, you know now. Brokers are controlling it. The shippers are still paying good rates, and if you get directly in with those shippers, you're going to make great money in the hotshot industry, and it just is what it is. Even getting directly connected inside of some of these major brokerages, you'll have a lot more power to haul loads for better rates, and they'll want to give you better rates. You'll have more negotiating power, especially once you get over a year of authority age. So if you're thinking about building a new authority, buying one is better. Unless you come in to do business with us or something, we're going to form you one anyway, and while it's aging, we're going to get you taken care of on another aged authority, in the meantime. But that's the goal. Once you get over a year old of authority age, 2, even better. But once you get to a year of authority age, it's when you have a little bit more power, negotiating power. People really want you to haul their loads for them. The more age, the better. The more power you have, the more attractive that you are. So stay in it, keep pushing, don't give it up. So the spot market. The spot market is, that's what majority of all trucking companies run on. And owner-operators that run for themselves, dispatch for themselves, dispatch teams, they all have load boards. They're all booking you off of spot market for the most part. There are some dispatch companies out there that have direct connections, such as ourselves and our Superior Dispatch here inside of our company. But that's a big part of it. That's a major part of the industry, is the spot market. So what happens is, when there's so many trucks in the industry, which just recently happened not long ago, we were at an all-time high for how many people have entered the trucking industry. And because of so many people entering the trucking industry, the rates went down. There was too many trucks, not enough loads. People were able to throw $1 a mile out on their load and somebody would jump on it like birds on something dead. So it really hurt the market, but it always has to reset. So, you'll see that happen again somewhere in the future. And it did, and we started to lose trucks out of the trucking industry. We ended up being at an all-time high for people exiting the trucking industry for a little while there because of how fast it was happening, how many people were leaving and exiting the trucking industry because of the rates. And then what did that do? It had the rates start climbing back up because now there's more loads and not enough trucks in the industry. So now they have to put a better price on these loads to make people, because now drivers can be picky. There's not so many trucks out there jumping on every single solitary load. Now drivers are starting to be able to get to the point where they can be a little bit more picky. I don't want to haul this load for this, but I'll do it for this. Have a little bit more negotiating power. You got brokers just posting loads for higher rates off the bat on the load board just because they know it's how hard it started to become for them to get loads brokered out. And a broker, that's how they make their money. They're not making any money if you don't haul their loads. So with that being said, then it just kind of happened too fast. People saw the rates climbing back up. A lot of people reinstated their authorities. A lot of people that were canceling their authorities and turning the switch off turned it back on and got back into the business. I know I talked to several. I was trying to purchase their agent authority and they ended up getting back into the business. Some of them even learned our business model and decided to jump back into the business on that model, and are doing pretty great from what I can tell. But that's kind of what happens. That cycle happens, and it will happen again. After the election, depending on how the election goes, the rates will get a lot better. The economy will get a lot better. It'll start booming again, and you'll see the trucking industry really climb. But aside from election, you still will see the rates start going up. After Christmas, we're supposed to be going into, the new year, 2025, we're supposed to be going into a really good freight market. Supposed to be. Now, it might not happen until somewhere in the mid-2025 when it gets phenomenal again, but we're supposed to go back to those old rates that everybody loves, especially if the election goes the way that it should. This industry is still making millionaires all over the place, silently making millionaires for the most part. So with that being said, if you're an entrepreneur or a businessman or somebody looking to get in the trucking industry in that capacity, most definitely it's a no-brainer. All day, every day. I'll say it all day, every day, no matter how many people I see fail, no matter how many people I see succeed. I will always say most definitely, unless something drastic changes along the line somewhere, which I doubt will happen to change my mind ever. If you are on that side of the ball, 100%. It's 100% worth it, and I say definitely go for it in some capacity. Now, especially the owner-operator model. The owner-operator model is the most profitable, with the least amount of overhead in the industry, which is the owner-operator. That's the business model that we run. That's the business model that we run, and we form companies for the public on whatever. If you want to know more about that, then you can go check out my video at the end screen. Maybe I'll stick it right here as well somewhere in the video. Might even have put it at the beginning. I don't know. I'm shooting the video right now, so I'll do the editing later. But if you want to go check that out, there's videos on our page. You can go to our TikTok, Hotshot Kings 4L on TikTok. You can just go check us out and find out all about us if you want to hear about what we do and the packages we offer and how all that stuff works. We hire owner-operators every single solitary day too, so if you're an owner-operator watching this video, it is still worth it for you to get involved as an owner-operator. And I'll touch a little bit more on the subject of non-CDL and hotshot CDL and how that works and what the differences are and what's happening. But with the non-CDL market, I will say it's a little bit tougher for you guys, but you have less overhead, so it makes it okay. Usually you burn a little less fuel, so there's kind of things that weigh themselves out. Also, I will put a video link right here somewhere on the screen for you to go check out. Probably at the end of the video, though. Maybe both, I don't know. But for you to go check out my next video, which is going to be the difference between hotshot non-CDL and CDL, what's more worth it, how that stuff works, what the market's looking like for that right now, and, just touch on all those different points. Like I said, it's all about who you get involved with, who you're working for, and what kind of owner-operator you are. So, obviously, if you're a CDL owner-operator, you have more power to carry more weight. If you're a semi-owner-operator, same thing. If you're a company driver, I don't know what to tell you. We don't hire company drivers, but there is a really good, there are good companies out there that hire company drivers. There are still really good company drivers, situations out there, and they do exist. So you just need to find the right one. I suggest going to run for companies that pay a percentage rather than by the mile. For any company drivers that we do hire, it's 30%. It's 30% of the gross. Try to keep it fair, no cents per mile or anything like that. Don't want to do any of that. So, as far as our company and how we operate, we have a lot of connections. So we're a good company to run for to make it in the industry. I'm not going to say that you're going to do 10,000 gross every single week. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to sell that. In the past, it was possible, and it was very truthful for us to say that we will do, 6 to 10 constantly all the time, blah, blah, blah. We had times like that. It's just not the case anymore. So for non-CDLs, we're on an average of 4,000 to 8,000 gross a week. CDLs 5 to 10 because it is possible. I have had non-CDLs here over the last 2-3 months, whatever. I do have one non-CDL owner operator. He dispatches himself a little bit for the most part, but he books a lot of partials, which is another thing I'll put in here in a very short bit as far as how to make the most money in this industry, as far as owner operators and being involved and being able to pick your own loads and stuff like that and having dispatch teams and whatnot. That owner operator that I'm speaking of, non-CDL, and he usually does 9, 10 plus every single week. He's got the record for our company of doing 13,800 gross as a non-CDL in 1 week. So it's very possible. It's still out there. It's just all about how you play with it and who you know and what your connections are and who you run for. Now, like I said, that's our averages. We don't want anybody in here coming expecting the numbers I just told you, but we do want you coming into expecting, as a non-CDL, 4,000 neighborhood to 8,000 on the top side as a non-CDL, 5 to 10 as a CDL as far as gross of what you're making. Now, running for our company, we charge 75-25 split, and then you have an insurance deduction come out of that. If you're running, this is another thing I want to mention. Guys, please be careful of the splits out there, and I'll make a whole nother video on this actually. Be careful of the splits out there you run for. If you're running for anything less than an 80-20, the best option is to stay away from it actually. That's just my opinion, and I will say why, because they will tax you on insurance, fuel charges, whatever they can. You will end up a lot of money out of your check, and it just is what it is, because after running this model for so long, if you are not at least bare minimum, and you're not even making a lot then, at bare minimum, if you're, in order to make any profit as a company owner, you're running an 80-20 split or bigger, unless you're taxing or raping that driver for something, out of his paycheck. So you guys pay very close attention to that. Ask every single question that you can. We even try to test some of these guys, I should say, that have their companies and are hiring these people for 90-10 splits and stuff like that, 85-15, and we ask them all the questions we can, and we end up finding that it's either a big scam or it's just a bunch of baloney, and they're going to charge a lot of money on insurance. I talked to one owner operator that was running for an 85-15 split and was being charged $6,000 a month in insurance, which is absolutely bonkers. I mean, yeah, you're going to have people out there with some things on their records that they can't help. They're not that person anymore. There's things out there that'll cause people's insurance rates to be a little higher, and you'll have a $500 weekly insurance deduction and something like that. Be paying a lot of money per month in insurance. But on average, we have $250 to $350 max as far as weekly insurance deductions of what you're paying to be on our insurance policies. So that's just to give you a little bit of insight on that. But yeah, it's all about who you know. The shippers are paying great. We also have our own brokerage, so we've just opened up our own brokerage and have a lot of connections with a lot of shippers that we're going to be running through our brokerage here soon. In the next couple of months, we'll be brokering loads to our own carriers and stuff like that, and really being able to help all of our owner operators and all of our owners inside of our little bubble in our network, make a little bit more money, because we're not going to be opening a brokerage for the purpose of having a super extremely profitable brokerage and raping all of these rates and hurting all of these truck drivers or anything like that. We're going to be doing it for the purpose of making life better, making more money for our clients and for our owner operators that come to run for us. Also, all the owner operators out there that are just running for other companies and dispatchers are calling us and booking loads for them, we want to make the market better. We want to help make the market better. And if we're the only brokerage out there offering good rates, well, then fine. But at least people know that we are, and we're going to do a lot of business through our brokerage, and we're giving people more money. We're paying more for loads, and we're going to be, we're just going to be doing a good deed for the trucking industry as a whole, especially for these owner operators trying to make it and put food on the table. Now, dispatch. This is a big thing. It's one of the biggest issues in the trucking industry. So first off, all around brokers, company owners, dispatchers, most of the biggest problem in the industry is most of these people are in it for money and in it for themselves, care about nobody else, care about nothing else. And that's a problem. That's not how it should be. And that's why things are the way they are. So, most dispatch companies, they're just dispatching to get a paycheck. If they book you on 10 $1.50 a mile loads, they're still going to make a nice paycheck. They're going to get their money. They didn't do a whole lot. I mean, yeah, maybe they fought with some brokers and did some calling and stuff. Dispatching is a very stressful job, so have some respect for your dispatchers. I will say I've watched my head dispatcher handle 12 drivers at one time. It's a very stressful thing, and that's just a one-man job. It's a very stressful thing. It can cause a lot of stress, can cause depression. It can make stuff ugly. It's not an easy task, and it's fighting on the phone with brokers and calling all day, every day on the computer, hurting your eyes. You're in the chair all day. I've seen dispatchers sit in their office and not leave from 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night and still answering the phone at midnight. So that's kind of dispatchers we are. A lot of people, they do work on the schedule, 7 o'clock to whatever in the evening, and they cut their phones off. They're not going to answer you anymore. We don't like to do that. Drivers are going to need help. They're going to run into situations. Brokers are going to need to be updated. So we want to keep things running smoothly and help as much as we possibly can. So we don't do that. But that's what I'm getting at there is dispatchers and stuff. You want to be careful of who you select, number one. Number two, ask a lot of questions when you're booking these guys. Ask them what they're doing for rate per miles. Ask them what they're doing on weekly grosses and stuff. If you can find a dispatcher, or if you can dispatch for yourself and master doing partials, that is how you will make the most money, because you can have 3-4 partials on your trailer making $6 a mile before you'll ever find a whole load, a full load that's paying you $6 a mile, $4 a mile, whatever. I would say you'd be able to partial $5 a mile before you'd ever even book a full load for $3.50 a mile in this spot market right now. If that tells you anything, so partials is the way to do it. So if you're a hotshot owner operator or anything like that, partials. That is my biggest tip to you guys as drivers. But yeah, sum it all up and put it all into one video. Just wanted to give you guys a couple little things there and let you guys know how things are. The trucking industry is 100% still worth it. It always will be. Yes, the rates are a little bit down right now on the spot market side, but it's still very, very possible to make a lot of money, to make good money each week. Booking full loads, partials are the way to go, obviously. But regardless, there's still good loads out there. It just depends on who you work for, who you're running for, who who your people you're working for know, what the brokerage is, who the brokerage is, who your dispatchers are, and how well connected they are. It's all about the right people in the industry. If you're trying to just dive in naked and not knowing anything, do some research, talk to some people like us. We don't have time to just talk on the phone and give you information about the trucking industry. We don't have time to do that. I mean, I haven't been able to shoot content in forever. We barely ever have time. So that's not something that's possible, but maybe a question here and there or something on a comment or something like that. Maybe we can answer. I try to respond to every single comment that I get on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that. And we'll do our best to give you any tips. But if you want to come work for us or for one of the companies that we formed, being inside of our network is a safe haven for you. It's a safe place to be, and you'll always make it. And regardless, you're taken care of. That's one thing we aim to do here is we break our backs. Whether people see it or not, we break our backs day in and day out, 7 a.m. in the morning to after dark, late nights, early mornings, every single day, to take care of drivers and company owners that are involved with our business and what we do for company owners and dispatchers and everything. There's just nobody going to work like Superior Trucking Services, and that's just a fact, and I'll stand by that to the day I die. But yeah, with that being said, guys, if you have any interest in working for us or working with us or becoming a company owner with us, whatever the case, you guys know how to find me. My phone number is on the screen right here, 662-832-8340. You can text me. I will only take texts. I probably will not pick up your call, so it'll go to voice message, and you'll have to leave me a voicemail, and I'll call you back, or you'll text me, and we'll set up a call. That's how it'll work. So don't be surprised if I don't answer the call. If you want to come drive for our company, you'll contact my recruiter. And if he does not answer, same thing. You shoot him a text, let him know who you are, what your equipment is, or that you're needing to get in touch with a trailer, because we have a trailer connection. We can get you a trailer behind you, no problem. Be easy. The best trailer guys in the world, CTZ Trailer Sales. And so if you need to talk to him, his number is right here. Put it up top. I don't remember it by heart, but I'm going to put it up top above my head so you can see that. And then my email is andrew@superiortruckingservices.com. You can also send us emails to info@superiortruckingservices.com. And then for recruiting, it is Kinston. I'm going to put it right here, KENSTON @superiortruckingservices.com for recruiting. So if you want to contact us in any capacity, you can. We'll make sure to reach out to each and every single one of you, no problem. So with that being said, I hope you guys got a lot of information out of this. And if there's anything else that you want some real information on and the inside scoop on inside this industry, because we're doing this all day, every day, and been doing it for years, then just drop a comment and let me know what kind of video I should make next if I haven't made it already. So there's probably a couple videos going to be at this end screen. Click one of them, click all of them, do whatever you want. Go watch them all. Go check them out. It's going to be some good information in all of them. And if you stayed to the end and you watch, I sure appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell to let you know when I post. And I'll see y'all guys next time.